Right, welcome once again in uh, our lesson. We are going to talk about normal distribution, but today we want to solve problems involving finding the mean, sigma, or both, right? Remember, in our previous lesson, we said if x follows a normal distribution with mu and variance, that's sigma squared, for p of x is greater than x bar, we standardize this normal distribution using p of z is greater than x bar minus mu o over sigma, right? That is standardizing a normal distribution, right? So for today, we want to find mean or sigma or both when they are missing in the question, right? Let's have an example. Let's have an example. The random variable x is normally distributed. The random variable x is normally distributed with mean mu and standard deviation 5 and standard deviation of 5. Given that p of x is less than 27.5, probability of x is less than 27.5 is equal to 0.8686 is equal to 0.8686. Find mu. Right. You can try to pause this video and try to attempt the question. Then you compare your answer with my solution, right? Solution, right? We are given that x follows normal distribution with mean, mu, and standard deviation 5, which means it's 5 squared for variance, right? So for p of x is less than 27.5 to be equal to 0.8686, we standardize this part, which means that can be written as probability of z is less than 27.5. In this case is our x bar, which means it's 27.5 minus our mean mu o over sigma must be equal to 0.8686, right? Now you can use your table with a mean here of 27.5. So we want those items which are less than 27.5, which means we want this region. Remember, our 0 is here. We want this region, and this region is more than 50%. The shaded part is more than 50%, and it will be 1 minus. So if it's more than 50%, we use phi of a. Remember, in our previous video, we said if this shaded part is more than 50%, it will be phi of a, and if it is less than 50%, it will be 1 minus phi of a, right? So in this case, we are going to find phi of 27.5 minus mu divided by sigma, and it will give us 0.8686, right? Then from your table, remember, in our previous lesson, when we were looking at phi of this one, let's say we're looking at phi of 1,23. We're looking at 1,2 under 3 here, right? Under 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So in this case, now we are going to your table, the reversive. Now we are going to your tables, then you look for 0,8686 inside the table, 0,8686. Then that value, let me look for 0,8686. 0,8686 is under 1,1 under 2. If you look at 1,1 under 2, there is 0,8686 here. So we take 1,12. So in this case, we are saying phi of arc phi of this one. This will be 27.5 minus mu all over sigma is equal to 1,12. Then we solve for so our sigma in this case is 5. Then now we solve for our mean mu. So we multiply here both sides by 5, here by 5 to remove our fraction. Therefore 27.5 minus mu equals to 1,12 times 5. Then the answer from 27.5, 1,12 times 5 from 27.5, that will give us our mu of 21.9. right? So this is how we find our mean from normal distribution, right? Let's have an example for finding sigma. Another example. Right, let's say we have this example. The random variable x is normally distributed with mean 50. The random variable x is normally distributed with mean 50 and standard deviation sigma. Given that p of x is greater than 54, p of x is greater than 54 is equal to 0.2538, right? Find our sigma, right? You can also pause this video and try to attempt this question, then you compare your answer with my solution, right? Solution, we have x follows normal distribution with mean 50 and sigma squared, right? Then for p of x is greater than 54 is equal to 0.2538, right? Remember, p of x is greater than 54 using the mean. Let's say we have 54 here greater than, we are using this region, which means here we have 1 minus phi of a, right? So standardizing this one, we have probability of z is greater than 54 minus 50 divided by our sigma. Since we don't have a sigma, is equal to 0.12538, Alright, so this one from tables we are using 1 minus phi of 54 minus 50, that's 4 over standard deviation, equals 0.2538. Therefore 1 minus 0.2538 is equal to phi of 4 over sigma. Then subtracting 1 minus 0.2538, we get 0.7462. Therefore phi of 4 over sigma is equal to 0.7462, right? Then from your tables you find 0.7462 inside, then you get 4 over sigma equals to inside you get 0.662, 0.662. Therefore our sigma is equal to 4 divided by 0.662. That will give us 4 divided by 0.662, that's 6.04, 6.04, right? So this is how you find your sigma. Remember one thing, your tables starts from 0.5, then this one is less than 0.5. So normally if it is 0.49 and or less, you use 1 minus, so that you get the answer which is 0.5 or more, right? So let's have our third example. Now we want to find both mean and standard deviation at the same time. Right, our third example. The random variable x is normally distributed. The random variable x is normally distributed with mean, meal, and variance sigma squared, given that p of x is greater than 34, p of x is greater than 34, is equal to 0.0228, 0.0228, and p of x is less than 25, p of x is less than 25, is equal to 0.0062, 0.0062. Find mean and sigma, right? Try also to attempt the question, then compare your solution with my solution. Right, for solution, let's start with this one, right? We have part 1, we say part 1, p, we have x follows, we have to write the distribution first. X follows normal distribution with mean, and variance sigma squared. Therefore, for p of x is greater than 34 equals to 0.0228. Then this one can be standardized using p of z is greater than 34 minus mu all over standard deviation. We do not have standard deviation again, equals 0.0228. Remember from our previous example, we said if this one is less than 0.5, we use 1 minus. Also, we can use our normal table. This is 34, and we want the part that is greater than, which is 1 minus phi of 34 minus mu all over sigma. that's 0.0228. If we subtract 1 minus this one, we get 1 minus 0.0228 equals to phi of 34 minus mu all over sigma. Then if we subtract 1 minus 0.228, that's 1 minus 0.228, 0.9. Therefore, phi of 34 minus mu over sigma is equal to 0.9772. Right? Then arc phi of this one, remember we look at 0.977 from our tables. 0.977 from our tables we get 2. Therefore 34 minus mu over sigma is equal to 2. Then we multiply by sigma both sides. 34 minus mu equals to 2 times sigma. That will be our first equation, right? So another part, we also have x follows normal distribution with mean mu and sigma variance squared. Therefore, for x, p of x is less than 25 is equal to 0.0062. This one can be written as p of z is less than 25 minus mu all over sigma is equal to 0.0062, right? Now, remember, this is less than 0.5, but also from our normal distribution table, we can see here we have 25 here, then 0. We want which is less than. We are supposed to use phi of a, but this one we can't find 0.006 from our tables. So we use 1 minus this one, but the answer that we are going to get from our tables, we are going to multiply it by -1. For example, we are going to say phi of 25 minus mu over sigma is equal to 1 minus 0.0062. But the answer that we are going to find is our arc phi of this one. We are going to multiply it by -1. Let's say phi of 25 minus mu over sigma is equal to 1 minus 0.0062. We get 0.9938. 0.9938. Therefore, arc phi of this one, 25 minus mu over sigma, is equal to 0.9938 from our tables. From our tables, we get it from 2.5 under 0. 2.5 under 0. But remember, we said the answer, we are going to multiply it by -1 because we used this part instead of this part. So we are going to say times -1 the opposite way. Then we multiply 25 minus mu is equal to -2.5 times sigma, which is our second equation. Now we solve equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously to find our mean and standard deviation. Now we have our first equation, 34 minus mu equals to 2 sigma, first equation. Then we have 25 minus mu equals to -2.5 sigma, equation number 2, right? So here we want to eliminate our mu first. We want to eliminate. So if we have negative and negative, if the signs are the same, we are going to subtract 34 minus 25, that will be 9, equals to 2 minus 2.5, that's 4.5 sigma, divided by 4.5 by 4.5, we get our sigma as 4.5 into 9 goes 2 times. Now we can use either equation 1 or equation 2 to find the mean. From equation 1, we are saying 34 minus mu is equal to 2 times sigma 2. Therefore, 34 minus 4 equals to mu. Therefore, our mu is equal to 34 minus 4, that's 30. So this is how we find the missing figures of mean and standard deviation, or both. Thank you for watching this video. See you in our next lesson.